5 no bullshit businesses to earn $1 million in 5 years, and one bonus if you stay until the end. What I will do if I were you, even if you start with $0, even if you start from 100% beginner. The first bonus without bullshit to earn $1 million in 5 years is the creation of faceless content. Basically, using several AIs, several artificial intelligences to recreate a sort of fictional character, do audio dubbing and repost your content everywhere on all these social media, whether it's fake news, real news, educational content, sports content, entertainment content, even sexual content. I have a friend who has a fake TikTok influencer with hundreds of thousands of views today. She is a fake AI, and this model influencer gets 500 comments on short TikToks where she just shows her face. I don't know how long it's going to last, but if you can take $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $10,000 depending on your level of ethics. The maximum of the maximum of the maximum is the rather sexy fake AI model on social media, or even more. The minimum ethical level is the sports niche, which works 100%. Know that it won't last long. We can say that this is the first year's business. At the same time, given that it's automated, just train yourself. Not like the others. Please man, I'm not going to grab you by the ear. Read some fucking books rather than buy I don't know how many training courses that all look the same on business models that don't work anymore, such as dropshipping, SMMA, a digital network communication agency, soon editing. You should know that editing short videos will soon be a thing of the past for me. I made a lot of predictions about AI that were extremely alarmist, while others told you that AI is great, it's going to open up even more jobs. No, I want you to know, we see it every day, heads do roll. Either you're able to get through the grind before the others, which I estimate to be 8 months to 2 years minimum, to perfect a high income skill, basically a skill that earns you a big salary, or it's the shiny object syndrome, and in fact you'll be going round in circles like a Rubik's Cube, as you've been doing for perhaps 1, 2, 3 or 4 years. So stop being bitter, take the walls in your head thoroughly, take things more to heart. Even if you trade satisfaction for frustration, you're going to make progress. The problem with beginners is that they take advice lightly. Act as if that this video is worth $10,000, because some people with more marketing skills sell it for $10,000. My advice to you, and what I will do in your place for this first no bullshit business model for earning $1 million in 5 years, is to save everything you earn. You only pay a few monthly AI subscriptions. That's all. For the rest, you don't hire a service provider, and you don't invest too much either, because you know it's not going to last 2, 3 or 4 years. It's a matter of a few months or 1 year at the most. I think that in your biggest months, it's 15,000. In your minimum months, if you really work hard on this skill, it's a minimum of $500 a month. Business number 2, without bullshit, for earning $1 million in 5 years is the online services business. And here I'm going to give you a few niches. Online is better than physical, number 1. Number 2, there is one business that is outshining all others online. This business is content creation. These days, everyone has YouTube channels. Number 3, what you need is a business model that helps content creators, because they represent 80% of online demand. Number 4, I will tell you the 3 best business models for you. 2 are beginners and 1 is pro expert. The 2 beginners are, number 1, a long video editor. You can offer short videos to get your first customers, but where you're going to make money because the aim is to keep them for 1 year or 2 is going to be in long videos. In the long videos, obviously, I don't want you to make me shitty little VHS templates. Do you understand me? I'm speaking to you clearly. You take Magnets Media videos as an example. You have to aim for Magnets Media and at worst, land on the level of Iman Gadzhi. To do that, you obviously need to invest in a super setup. By super setup, I mean a Mini Mac M2, but it can be the same with a computer tower that you assemble yourself. With this business model, in fact, you will be able to offer the most loyal content creators a pack with a thumbnail of the video too. And yes, who better to know than the video's editor to know exactly what it corresponds to, even in title and thumbnail. You don't charge for the title. The title is a bonus. It's in the pack. But for me, the second business model to start in combination with editing is Media Maker. Basically, to make YouTube thumbnails. Why? Because there is too much at stake through the thumbnail. I underestimated it for 5 years on YouTube making videos. It used to take me 10 minutes to do these thumbnails. In fact, why is it that today there are YouTubers who get 10 times more views than me for half as much content in the video, even a video half as long? Why is that? Because when it comes to thumbnails, it's true. They're killing me with thumbnails. It's 20 out of 20. Why is that? Because they also pay for the thumbnail. I have paid rarely for thumbnails. So do the opposite. I will give you the old Wolfer's advice. I'm telling you, pay more for this thumbnail than for the rest. Because thumbnails, the skills you need today in Photoshop, grain, glow, colors, contrasts, these are really skills that you can't learn other than by doing them for 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years. And the professional part of business number 2 is the no-code environment. Again, with content creators. But that's going to be more for websites. So sales pages, launch pages, promotional pages, whatever you want to call them. They can also be online school spaces. So basically online training, but in web version. So something super constructed, complete with courses, chapters, a bit like Unteachable, Think If It, Podia. There will be a members area for all customers and even, why not, an affiliation area for all future affiliates. At the same time, you can also create no-code applications. That's really the expert level, but I will tell you about it too if you're passionate about it. In terms of these 3 niches for this second business model that I recommend, online service provider, we will say that you can earn, for me, between $1,500 a month from the second month up to $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month. After that, what's going to hurt is how you're going to become known if you don't develop your own content creation and scale through online training. That is, becoming a trainer for others. It's more profitable to explain how you manage to earn $5,000 a month to 5,000 people than for you to take the time to earn $5,000 a month. The third business, without bullshit, to earn $1 million in 5 years, that's more for the third year, and that's going to be content creation. Why do 99% of people make this mistake? Because we're looking more for social status than financial wealth, and that's betting everything on content creation too early, which means you don't have a setup, or if you do pay a setup, you're too stressed, you won't last long, you don't have a financial cushion. If in the end it doesn't work, if in the end the product you want to sell is going to take you another year to offer it to the audience, that's too much stress, too much anxiety. It's better to wait. First of all, create a situation for yourself before going on the social media, especially with the current level on social media. As you can see today, look at the level of my videos and compare that with my number of subscribers. Just think, you're going to be competing with me very quickly. You have to focus on the long format. You have to do some name dropping to attract as many customers as possible in your niche. If possible, stick to a single niche. Because videos don't take off if you are addressing a different audience. One day you're going to talk about productivity, you're going to appeal to that niche. Then the other day you're going to do seduction, you're going to appeal to that niche. Then the other day you're going to do technology, you're going to appeal to that niche. In fact, your video will never catch on, so you will always be stagnating, and that's a waste of time. Of course, these days you should not do short formats. It's really what I recommend for authority, for offering paid products, for maximizing conversions, because just because you make a sale on Instagram doesn't mean it's the same as a sale on YouTube. For customers' loyalty, for everything you want, in fact. Today, YouTube is the best platform for videos that have been worked on. For the live format, Twitch is obviously still king. My advice is to invest much more than your number of subscribers. Imagine if you have 0 subscribers, you start with 0 subscribers, or even if you have 1000 subscribers, in fact, you need to have the setup of people who have 10,000 subscribers in your niche. You have to get there very quickly, because if you don't, you say to yourself, as Tugan Barrow says, oh fuck, another one. And above all, what I'm saying to myself personally is, who is this idiot? Why am I going to give you 10 minutes of my life to listen to you? To give you an example, I have a friend, I'm telling you guys, he's a mini Tugan Barrow in the making. In my opinion, he could perhaps overtake him. But the problem is, he has not invested at all in his setup. He's got a little green background, even himself, he's in a sweater, he's in civilian clothes. Inevitably, it doesn't make you want to do it, but I swear his substance is excellent. In the end, it's a waste. He's practically making videos from nothing. He should be investing in his setup so that each video gets 10 times more clicks, people will stay with him 10 times longer, and perhaps maximize his conversions with 10 times more shopping carts filled. Assume that your first video, I want you to do it again at least 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, 100 times. Why? Because you will never get a second chance to make a good first impression. And because your videos, above all, should not be made from nothing, right? You already have a busy schedule. YouTube is going to add to that. Every video you make is a buzz video. They have to get at least 50,000 views in your head so that they get at least 5 or 10,000 views on average. Of course, you're going to show your face. Why? Because firstly, you will be able to charge more for your products. Why? Because when you are an online service provider, you're just another Twitter account, another ComeUp or Fiverr account. Frankly, the balance of power is with the customer. On the other hand, when you have a YouTube channel, when you know how to talk, you have great equipment, you're good at editing, you have really done all that grand. In fact, there is better packaging, there is better personal branding involved. And I'm not just comparing price or delivery days like on an online classified ad site. No, I want you to make my product from me. I want you to make my website, my app, my online school. The second advantage is that you're not dependent on a single source of communication to find new customers. Often, when you start out, you say to yourself, almost like you've got imposter syndrome, almost like you're scamming your customers. And if I don't find anyone, there are people who cry about it, even though the misfortune hasn't happened yet. It only exists in your head on a psychological level. By multiplying your tentacles as if you were an octopus, that comes from John Davison Rockefeller, well, for one thing, you're more anti-fragile if you see the negative scenario. And on the other, you're more Alex Hormozy if you see the positive scenario. The third advantage of content creation, and therefore the third business to launch in order to make $1 million in 5 years, is that you will be able to become a trainer for new people, for the next generation, for the beginners of your time. Even if this was not your first business model, even if you don't really have any respect for this business model, well, even 1 customer, 10 customers, 100 customers a month, depending on the price of your product, depending on your level of buzz with your videos, short or long, frankly, that's not insignificant. And when we go on to talk about another business model, depending on the amount, you can do times 50. I would rather do times 50 on $250,000 than times 50 on $35,000 because you only have 24 hours in the day. Your online products are available 24 hours a day. My favorite business, the first business to launch to make $1 million in 5 years without bullshit either, is cryptocurrencies. It's the business that has made me the most money at the moment. Why? Because nothing beats times 20, times 25, times 30, times 40, times 50. If you think these figures are bullshit, you're probably new to cryptos. This is your first bull run, your second bull run. What do you have better to do than times 20 on an amount, times 30 on an amount, times 50 on an amount? And even if you're a narcissist with a big head, you say to me, but I have already done it in e-business, or I have already done it in this or that. But how do you know you're going to do it again in 2, 3, 4 or 5 years time? I would rather have someone who knows how to invest than someone who knows how to make money today. If, in fact, you're planning to get rich by buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple or Dash back in the day and investing maybe a few $100s a month, when you could be investing a lot more, but you only invest what you can lose. I will give that a double fuck, okay? Imagine me giving you a double fuck. That's poor thinking, it's stupid thinking, it's shitty thinking. Maybe for you, I'm still poor. You can be poor, but you can have a poor mentality. That's impossible. When you look at me now, you must not see me in a suit. Maybe handsome, maybe not. He knows how to speak, he's good, he's intelligent, he knows how to give a well-constructed speech. The video is brilliant. You can't say that to yourself. You have to say to yourself, it's his books that did him. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Because what will make you rich is becoming a fucking brain. So first, never buy cryptocurrencies that have already exploded, okay? Me, to tell you the truth, in my wallet, I don't have a currency before the top 100 on CoinMarketCap. That's the truth. And number two, if you can put in more money, put in everything you can. Today, more than 90% of my capital is invested in cryptocurrencies. A little advice on how to use it, that's more if you're a beginner. You're looking for the best platform. Personally, there are a huge number of cryptocurrencies on Kraken. So buy on 8 to 10 different platforms because, of course, we don't have all the projects in the same place. On the other hand, Kraken is where, for me, there is the best risk-benefit with the largest number of projects available. We're moving on to the fifth best business for earning $1 million in 5 years without bullshit. We're really going to take it to the next level. Get ready, take notes on everything I tell you. Inevitably, you're going to have to get your money out online and switch to physical investments so that you're safer in case there is a major global financial crisis involving I don't know how many currencies. You're going to buy real estate in countries around the world where things are exploding, but where the owner's contract is a real valid contract, where the law is applied. In my case, what I have found is Eastern Europe and Romania, which for me is the best country in the world in which to invest and where things really work, with the added bonus of low taxes for your online business. You don't have to live there, just in case if it scares you. Personally, it scares me. I'm telling you, you don't have to live there. Don't invest in the capital. Instead, invest in emerging cities that are really going places. You have to go to cities that are less than top 20 in terms of total population. Less than top 20. For example, in France, you don't invest in Lyon, you don't even invest in Saint-Étienne, you don't invest in Marseille, and you certainly don't invest in Paris. Instead, you invest in coastal towns, towns close to winter sports, towns with real historical appeal in the country. A little tip from a professional is to invest in towns or villages that are as attractive in summer as they are in winter. That's my advice, that's what I do, with as many schools, hospitals and police stations as possible in the town. Loans work the same way in France. Obviously, you don't buy anything for cash, right? Real estate is only profitable through the leverage of the bank. And these are countries, at least for Romania, but I'm also talking about Bulgaria. Bulgaria is much poorer. And why is that? Because it's like a 400s Bitcoin project. Well, yes, in fact, it's less well known. On the other hand, it's going to be more profitable if you get it right. So that's where you need to do your analysis, because in 2080, that's where you're going to get rich, my friend. The level of income I estimate for this third business, content creation, is between $5,000 and $50,000 a month. For the first business, which is cryptocurrencies, that's where things are really going to hit the jackpot. Maybe $100,000 to $500,000 in capital. And for real estate, in truth, it's more to protect. But we will say that it's between $500,000 and over $1 million in 5 years. Yes, that's only if you don't have any negative bias in your head. So use ChatGPT as your personal coach. That's what I do. Last bonus tip for the fifth best business for making $1 million in 5 years without bullshit. Inflation will make you rich in real estate in Romania, but it will be the same in Bulgaria and maybe other countries. Really stick to these two. In Romania, you need to know that depending on the town, inflation can be 20%, 25%, 30%, 40% or 50% a year. This means that if you had a flat that you paid $100,000 for, a year later, knowing that you have rented it out and already made money on it, a year later, your flat is worth $150,000. Imagine that on $500,000 of capital thanks to cryptos. You have figured out how to make $1 million in 5 years. Easy.